On this trip, we tackled some of the toughest tracks in South Australia and took the Caravan on some deadly terrain. But Scott has one more challenge up his sleeve for the Roadstar team. Scott wants to see how well our caravans perform on the beaches of Cape Elizabeth and challenge it with some sand dunes.
Hi guys, I'm Peter and this is the last day of our off-road challenge. We're in South Australia on Cape Elizabeth, York Peninsula, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. And we're going to really put these vans through their paces today. We're going to do some beach work and we're also going to do some dunes as well. And what I'd like to do now is take it away, Scotty.
Okay, so first of all, we've let our tyres down on the cars and the caravans, so we hopefully don't get too stuck today.
what poundage are we
Okay,
running?
so on the 200 series behind us, we've run 15, 20 and 15 on,
Okay, yep.
on the caravans, 15, 20 and 25.
And can you explain why you're running 20 in the rear?
Because of the weight of the caravan on the back, or the weight of the ball weight of the caravan
Yeah.
and trailer,
Yes?
it's pushing down, so it's actually going to put more weight on the back tyres, so it's actually spreading the load.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to do is make our footprints longer, so we're less weight on a bigger area. So
Okay.
it just spreads the load over a bigger. More scope. If it gets really soft on the sand, we can still let them down further. I mean,
great.
in worst case scenario, we can basically take them down to 5 pound to get ourselves through a section.
Yep.
Then we stop and then we heat them back up.
So that's your
Pump them
insurance
back up.
policy.
That's your insurance
basically.
policy.
Yep.
But the issue is though, every time if you drop your tyres by half pressure, you need to drop your speed by half.
Okay.
Because
Makes-
the faster you go with low pressures, the hotter the tyres go. And if you start doing any hard turns on the sand at speed, you run the real potential of rolling a tyre off the beat. So we don't want that today. So we'll just keep our speed down.
But you're gonna show us a demo of how to to get unbogged.
Oh yeah, we will. We'll go through use the max tracks,
Yeah.
and we'll also do a recovery as well.
So
A
for
safe
our
recovery.
viewers, they'll be able to see how to.
But ultimately, the best item you can be carrying is a long handle shovel. Because unless you involve somebody else, the safer it is.
Well, I've got one on my slingshot, so I'm going to get you out of trouble.
So we'll
Peter.
see which one
I
you're going
hope
to
so,
do.
kid.
You know how I always get you out of trouble.
Just a tip for the automatics, when you don't just chuck it in drive and put your foot down, use your gears.
Yeah.
Like hold it in second and third, and it just stops the car from heating the transcooler up, stops the gearbox from scouting. So going up in second, third, first, second, third, all this. So it'll actually keep the transcooler a lot cooler if you actually hold it in the gear.
That's a good tip.
All right?
Thanks, Jason.
You're welcome.
Yeah. All right, well, I think we should maybe jump in our
I reckon
cars
we
now
do.
and head to our challenge.
All right,
Sounds
make sure you
very
go low
good.
range, guys.
Yep.
Definitely.
Low
Right,
range.
done.
All right.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, cool.
Have some fun.
Let's go.
Okay. Now we're going to demonstrate a sand recovery with a kinetic rope. The four-wheel drive and caravan are both in soft sand and they've stopped and they've gone to take off and they've got bogged. So we're going to use the Safari Tamer Extreme and use their recovery point so I don't have to unhook the caravan from my car to be able to do this recovery safely. Okay, so we've got ourselves a bogged vehicle. What we need to do to make this a safe recovery and to take the load out of all our equipment, first of all we're going to remove the sand from in front of the wheels, make sure there's no sand stuck underneath the vehicle, hence the reason why we have a long handle shovel. number one bit of safety equipment or recovery equipment is this. Because the less you can use, the less people that are involved in a recovery, the safer it is for everybody.
And if you're me, don't ever bring a shovel. Let Scotty bring a shovel. That means manual labour. I'll grab my shovel. I'll give you a hand, mate.
Yeah, no worries. So what we're trying to do is just reduce the amount in front of the wheels. Now if you have a look underneath the front of this vehicle, it's got 2 red rated recovery points. Now make sure you use rated recovery points and not just the tie downs that come from the factory. These have been set up to specifically do a snatch recovery. And the reason we use both points is because you've got a ladder frame chassis, and if you pull really hard on one side of that chassis, it's really easy to bend it and twist it. So by equalising the load, using an Equalizer Strap, it puts even load on both sides of the chassis. So that way we run less risk of damaging anything. Likewise on the back of the Caravan, we've got rated recovery points at the back of the Safari Tamer. We're going to put a bridle on that, so we're pulling off both sides, so we're making it a much stronger anchor point for both vehicles. I'll leave my end off for a sec, Jason, if you could connect your ends up.
Choke just through here. We'll make sure we put this protective sleeve there just so we don't chafe the synthetic rope. You'll notice Scotty's only got one end hooked up at the moment. As soon as he hooks up the other end, it becomes dangerous.
We use 2 dampener bags in every recovery that we do, or even if a winch that we've got 3 lines out, we'll put a dampener bag on every single line. The reason being is that if there's a failure of any sort, what the dampener bag does, when it's got about 5 kilos of sand in it, if there's something lets go, it keeps the strap below the kill zone. So it basically weighs down. So if someone gets hit because they're doing the wrong thing, it's not going to be in a fatal zone between the hip and your shoulders. When we do a recovery as well, there should only ever be 2 people involved in a recovery. That's the 2 drivers. So the last thing you do is put the last shackle on. You stick it over. The tighter this gets, the tighter it chokes on that knot. These soft shackles are weighted at 12,000 pounds, so more than enough adequate for what we're about to do.
A lot of people use 2-way radios when communicating on start and stop with vehicles, and it's actually a very unsafe way of doing it. The UHS is an open channel. Words can be misconstrued over a 2-way radio, especially in wind like this, and you're going, oh no, and you I think he said go and all this sort of stuff, and you could have other people on the other side interfering on your channel. So Scott and I use a Toot System. So Scott will be sitting in his vehicle in 2nd gear low range with a seatbelt on, and he'll give one long toot to say, hey buddy, I'm ready when you are. Once I give Scott one long toot from my vehicle, obviously I've got my seatbelt on, I'll be taking off in 2nd gear to try and minimise the wheel spin. Taking off in 1st gear is just going to continue the wheel spin, but I will be driver assisting him. So I'll take off in 2nd gear, I'll give him one long toot, and Scott will start moving slowly in a nice sensible manner. Well, thanks, mate. That was well done, as always. Oh,
Again.
okay. Oh, wow, there it is. All right, guys. That was a demonstration of how to get out of a safe situation. All right, so we've actually got a lot more extreme work to do today. We're heading off to the dunes, so let's get into it.
Cheers. Looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Pulling you out again.
Maybe.
All right, guys, this is the first challenge. It's fairly soft getting onto the beach and a couple of sharp turns, and then it comes up a bit higher around here. So it is a challenge, especially with a bit of weight behind you as well. But luckily, the Roadstar Caravans, they're the lightest van on the market. Let's have a look, guys. I think Jason had one wheel about nearly a metre off the ground, but they all got through, which is great. And Glenn hasn't done this sort of thing before, so it's all about, you know, the drivers teaching them how to tackle things like that. That's very soft sand, and it slopes steep upward, and the road's quite undulating as well. So well done to the guys. So here we are at our last challenge in Cape Elizabeth in the York Peninsula, South Australia. And let me tell you, these vans have absolutely done so well all the way through. But this last challenge, Scotty, you've done a scout of the area, and what do you think?
It's going to be touch and go. It really is. Do you reckon, what do you think, Josh?
Oh,
do you think they're going to make it?
I don't know.
You don't want to
I
commit?
said you've already pulled me out once today.
What do you think?
I've taken a risk all my life.
It's
It's really up to you, Ken. They're your vans.
Flip it, mate. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay.
Heads or tails?
Tails. Tails we go.
Tails we go, heads we don't.
Yep.
Jeez.
Tails it is. We're going, boys. The last challenge. You
Kill my dollar back.
Let's go. Have a look.
all right. Before we go, so sand dunes obviously are made by the wind.
Yeah.
So like I could have come here last week and go, yep, no problem, I know this track like the back of my hand. Turn up and I could literally fall in a hole that wasn't there last week.
The dunes change nearly every 2 or 3 days or every week.
There's no substance to it either.
Yeah.
True. So stay in each other's.
Civically?
Stay as.
Stay in the tracks. Don't
Stay in-
get outside the tracks because there's all fresh tracks if you follow.
Yeah, we'll
up
go
there.
through the tracks.
So what we'll do is we're going to be fairly. We'll keep it a convoy. We're not going to be one car. We'll be three car lengths.
So if we go all at once.
We're going at once.
100%.
We're in together.
Yeah.
Well, that concludes our last challenge out at Cape Elizabeth on the York Peninsula. We had an amazing time and I just could not believe the dunes that these vans had climbed. And, you know, what an experience to go through Flinders Ranges and then on our way back to do Cape Elizabeth on the York. And I know that, Scotty, that we've only seen a really small portion
we didn't even touch the surface.
We've only scratched the surface of both the Flinders Ranges and of Yorks.
If we could only spend a lot
So-
more time here.
Yeah, it would
But
have been.
unfortunately, we have to go back to work.
I know. Building more caravans.
Exactly.
But I just couldn't believe the limits of the caravans. You know, there's some of the tracks, particularly the sand dunes just today, like I couldn't believe just how much they could
Sway
lean
it.
over and cop that. So
It was really
that
fun.
was pretty awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And I think,
Yeah.
sorry,
No,
keep
no.
going. One of the challenges that we issued Scotty and Jason was we really wanted to test the rear tow hooks on the Safari Tamer Extreme, and they actually pulled out, how many tons that? It's 2 and 2.5?
Yeah.
4.5 tons.
yeah.
4.5, 5 ton with those 2 rear tow hooks. That's amazing, and it's a credit to yourself too, Ken, for designing such beautiful vans. The other thing I wanted to say is, did you want to thank?
Yeah, definitely. I want to thank Glenn from squiz.com.
Yep,
He did an
pleasure.
amazing job, and we
Thanks
welcome
so
you
much,
anytime.
Glenn.
Yeah. Are you welcoming because of the Starlink?
No, the Starlink was good.
That was
that was
really
impressive.
You
that was
didn't
impressive.
have gone in 60 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, right?
Exactly. We had
I
to
know,
we
I'm
had
not-
to go to Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank Scott and Jason. They did a magic job.
did,
They really,
Thank you.
we,
We're super-
thank you.
we enjoyed their company and
Yeah.
all your jokes at the same time.
Hey, Jason, those jokes.
Oh, unbelievable.
Amazing.
Yeah, he even told me.
Driving along on the radio, he's saying all these 20
Yeah.
jokes in a
No,
row.
we had a ball. We had a ball, gentlemen. We enjoyed it. We appreciate all. We've learnt a lot from you guys on the last couple of days. We really appreciate it. Definitely.
And we can't wait for the next.
Yeah, oh,
adventure.
definitely. We're definitely going to
Well,
take
thank
it.
you for
No,
including us in
yeah.
such a great product.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
literally,
Yeah, it's
like
been
that's
our
something we
pleasure
stand by, isn't it?
to be able to showcase your caravan.
Yeah, we're pretty proud of what
absolutely.
Yeah, great
we're pretty proud of what we produce.
Remember the 9th.
the knife, definitely. We also
Got a
like,
sale out of
yeah,
it.
we also like
Anyway, we won't talk about that.
we also like to thank the girls for
All the
catering,
catering,
and
all the
organising, and
hospitality,
yeah,
cleaning, cooking,
Jalen,
everything.
Shanice, Janan,
Support crew.
Zainab, and definitely our camera crew in the heat. They did a magnificent job.
We won't show you them because
Studio
they're burnt to a
Tenbo,
crisp.
that was Studio Tenbo,
But the
top
drone
quality.
footage, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
same
They
here.
did
To
They
see
did a magic
what
job.
happened.
They did a magic job.
Well done, boys. Good
We've
job.
got a top team, and from now on, this team is going to go further and
Yeah,
further.
we're going to do so many
Um,
trips and experience a lot more and get a lot
we
more experience.
really
under our
really
belts.
gelled together pretty well. So
Yeah, we did,
I had a awesome time.
Same here.
Awesome time.
But you know what? There is one more challenge, Ken.
Definitely.
We've had the positive fan systems going in all three of the vans for the whole trip. I'm talking thousands of kilometres on dirt roads. So let's
Yeah,
go in.
definitely.
Well, let's go in and check
Yeah,
and see
that's
how
one
it
of our
works.
major-
Because we haven't been in the van.
No, we haven't.
We just unlocked it, so
the
we're
amount
gonna
of
walk.
dust that we've been through.
I know. So here we go. Finger test. Don't forget, this has done thousands of kilometres on dirt roads, and I'm talking real dirt. So here we go. Not one drop of dust. How's that? Hey? Look at that. That's amazing. And all because of one system. This positive fan system. It pressurises the whole van. And they're designed to run 24 hours a day. They were actually designed to go into mining equipment, big trucks and things like that to keep the dust out for the workers. But anyway, we've adapted them for caravans. So that wraps it up basically. Now Ken has organised the barbecue of the century. He's doing all this exotic stuff that he's marinated. And he's cooking on the charcoal, so I can't wait to get there. Till next time, thank you very much, guys, for watching.